right, wrestling fans, here's what we've all been waiting for, the finals of the 3 levels of the dual team state tournament here in Bloomington. On our mat, you're going to get a chance to see Montini High School from up in Lombard. Can they win their 10th title in the last 12 years? They'll be against an upstart program from Yorkville looking for their first title. And on paper, Dan, we've talked about all day long, this Montini group just looks super strong. They'll be in the gold singlets tonight. Yorkville will be in the silver singlets with the red trim, and we're starting at 152 pounds. In our third place match down there in the back mat, Bloomington High School will be against Antioch competing for third place. Bloomington will be in the all black singlets with the B on them. I guess the easiest way to look at it, I guess the Antioch kids will be in the black singlets with the Lehigh stripes, might be how you're going to tell them apart. Bloomington will be green down there. Up here in front of us, Montini will be in green. So we're starting at 152. Dan, tell us a little background about what we can expect to see here in our state championship.
Well, again, we're going to have problems knowing, which kid is which from each team. But I think that this is the bigger Bass, Clayton Bass, who's their normal 152-pounder. He's, state placer. Pretty tough kid. For Montini, not really sure. They weighed in a kid named John Sullivan at 145, Luke Fortuna at 145, and Xavier Montalvo at 152. So not really sure on the matchup here, but we talked about Yorkville. They're strong with the Bass brothers. They have Pozig, they have Sharp, they have Hurt, and they have Gonzalez. So those are kind of their big guns, but Montini really pretty much has a lineup full of big guns.
Yep, Montini had 13 individual state qualifiers, 9 places, so obviously they're loaded. Yorkville does have the early lead here, 2-0 first period off the early takedown. And we've commented all day long how these kids from Yorkville get on top and they just ride heck out. If you get that leg thrown, get in real tight, and they give him a stalemate there. Again, on the other mats, Oak Park River Forest and Sandberger wrestling in the championship duel down on AAA. Class A, Lena Winslow and Leroy. So you've got some great matchups going on tonight. Again, got the leg in, and this is where, like Danny said, Yorkville's got to make some progress here early on. There's some of their better kids are up at the top tonight, and they need to get possibly an early lead to maybe put some pressure on this Montini team. But Coach Martinez got a great team this year, and it's going to be tough to beat them, as you'll see.
Yeah, so after the first period in the first match here at 152, we have Bass from Yorkville winning 2-0. So again, you're Yorkville. This is a good match for you to start out with because it's one of your better kids, one of your leaders. And maybe before you run into kind of the onslaught of Montini's kids, you can come up with a couple wins and maybe try to steal the momentum and then steal a couple matches.
Yeah, the referees for tonight's match, refereeing the state finals, Jeff Sorensen out of Bloomington, John Churchill out of Morton, and we believe it's Ron Vermillion out of Crystal Lake. And they had an opportunity to do that tremendous duel down the Sandberg Glenbard North duel earlier and did a great job keeping that one under control because, as you all saw, it was a great finish to it. And again, now they get to move up and referee the Class AA state finals championship. So tribute to them as referees as far as their skills and so on. If they were selected to do the state finals here.
Over on mat 4, 0-0 in the second period between Antioch and Bloomington at 152 pounds.
So again, those are two, what I like to call them up-and-coming programs that maybe haven't been here before. First chance to come down, get themselves a team trophy, and it makes it great for the sport that new kids are getting a chance to be down here and do some things. And we talked about them quite a bit earlier today. And again, all night long, you're going to hear all these fanatic Class A fans yelling and screaming because they're all sitting right next to us. And you can't see it from the pictures, but this side's just filled with the people from Lena, Winslow, and Leroy. Again, we're 3-0 now, 54 seconds left, second period.
Back-to-back pens on the Class A mat, and this place is going crazy. So, it's going to get loud every once in a while if you can hear the background noise. And Bass kind of in on a shot here. The Montini kid's trying to scoot and sit the corner.
Both of them looking for a stalemate eventually, I think. Not much action going on.
Bass is trying to get his head underneath and come up now.
Exactly, good call.
Try to reach around.
And again, I know
20 seconds.
Some of you northern people kind of pick on the Class A fans. You got to go over and watch some of that if you get bored tonight, because it's just great to see the way this whole town's out here to support their programs.
And Bass picks up the takedown. There's 10 seconds left in the period. He's got a 5-0 lead. So he's going to ride out probably here to close out the second period. And again, so a good start for Yorkville so far. You know, kind of one of their marquee guys, and get them off to a good start in this duel. Montini's going to pick neutral going into the third.
Yeah, they've watched these kids all day long, and they understand how tough Yorkville is on top, so he wants to be up there where they're neutral and maybe more in their power type of position. Again, in on a shot. Boy from Yorkville's countered, got the ankle, hips are back. Going to be tough for the Montini boy to score here.
Bass is going to keep that ankle and try to come around the corner. He hooks the leg for the takedown, so 7-0 now, minute and 25 to go in the match.
Here's where he's got to look for the major. He's pretty much dominated. Can he turn him to get the extra point, or does he have to cut him? What do you think, about 45 seconds? His coaches will have him make a decision.
Yeah, he's awful tough on top, so I mean, you'll have to.
He's got that half buried again.
He's cranking here. If he doesn't get called for potential, there it was.
It's a bad thing about that power half. You get it in too tight and it becomes potentially dangerous.
See right here, a minute and 5 left. I'm not so sure I wouldn't just cut him here, and then once you take him down again, you can look to turn him, but he's going to stay on him.
Again, just a clinic ride these kids put on. Stay with their hips on top. Notice how he's trying to slide that leg in, and once it's in, it's not coming off from what we've seen all day long. Down on the far mat there, 1-1 with a minute and 25 left in the third period. Again, Bloomington would, or the easiest way, Antioch's in the singlets with the stripes on the side, and they're red on your scoreboard. And now
the Yorkville kids got tied up pretty tight, but they're going to break it.
It became illegal.
Now he's kind of in a questionable situation if he's looking for the major, because now he pretty much has to put him on his back with a 7-1 lead.
Boy from Montini comes to his feet. Matt returns him. Watch how he tries to slide this leg in. If he can pop his head out and the boy builds up. Look at his right leg, how it's ready to come firing in. Again, keeps working to get it there. Now he's
5 seconds.
Looking to turn him. Not going to work, though. He's going to take a 7-1 lead.
So Yorkville's going to take a 3-0 lead here in the dual meet and state championship match against Montini.
Yeah, somebody ought to take a picture of that. I don't think it's very often Montini's been behind in a duel this year, so that would be a big plus for Yorkville with the early lead. Now we'll go to 160.
And again, it's going to be hard for us to kind of tell.
Look at Coach D over here walking over just to see who they're going to send out from Yorkville, and then he sends over the Montini boy. Yorkville had to send first.
Yorkville doesn't have much of an option. I believe this is going to be Tyler Wilkinson, because they only weighed in one guy at 160, so I think he was just kind of making sure of the name.
That's the one huge advantage Montini has. They have such depth in the program where they can make a lot of adjustments.
Yeah, so again, we're not going to know who this is, but
we saw how the Yorkville kids earlier, they bumped them up in order to help them win a couple matches earlier in the day, so it's worked out well for them using the little bit of coaching to move kids around. Down there on the far mat there in overtime. Maybe take a look at that third place match. Big start for if someone can get something constructive done, get an early lead here. 1-1, just started the on the feet part of the overtime, about 40 seconds left. Nobody's going to score from that position. It looks like they're just kind of wasting a little bit of time. There's the shot in off the break. It's the boy from Antioch with the shot.
Bloomington kid almost stepped right behind him out of the little scramble there.
Oh, nice twisting movement. He's got to climb it to get the 2.
He's got 15 seconds. Now he's lifted it.
And has to Matt return it. Oh, nice job of switching off. Oh, tremendous work by both of them. The boy from
Good work
Antioch
defensively.
everything in the world to score, and he just couldn't quite get it done because the Bloomington boy is just a little too athletic. He had that leg hurt it, or up. It hurt me just sitting there watching it. And now they'll go to the second part of overtime. Down here in front of us, nice shot by the Yorkville boy. He's in on the takedown and scores. He leads 2-0. Minute and 5 left, first period. The overtime, the disc rolled halfway across the mat there before it landed. And the Antioch boy will take bottom again. For those of you that don't understand, the second part of the overtime's 2 30-second periods. Cumulative score would be the winner. If they're still tied, they go to the ultimate tiebreaker. Now he's got kind of a slop cradle locked up down there in that third place match, I think. Hard to tell from our position.
It looks like he's got that far leg locked in, and now he's just kind of reset himself to keep that leg in. 10 seconds to go. Over on the championship match, still 2-0. Yorkville has a lead at 160 pounds. 30 seconds to go in the first period.
Again, looking for a corkscrew type of thing. Okay. Down there in the far mat, is that 9 seconds left, Danny?
9 seconds. 9. I think it's 9, yeah. 9.
No, don't give up the escape late. Good deal. He locked up on the legs. And we'll go to the next part of it. And again, cumulative score, just because the boy from Bloomington would get away, we're assuming he doesn't in the match. They still have to go the full 30 seconds. So here's where you have to decide. On top, you think you can ride him, or should you cut him and try and take him down? What are you going to do, Danny?
It depends on. I wasn't watching when he was on top last time, so it kind of depends on how he did on top. Here, he's just kind of hanging on now.
Now he's
really,
25 seconds to take him down and win it. He trails 2-1.
Nice shot down here by the Montini kid.
They take neutral again
for a takedown. Somebody picked neutral there, so it's 2-2 now. Montini and Yorkville at 160 pounds. Montini cuts him, so now it's 3-2. Yorkville leads in the second period. Bloomington kid steps over down there out of the shot. 4 seconds to go. So he's, it looks like Bloomington's going to win down there at 152 pounds. And Montini gets another takedown here at 160 to go 4-3.
Okay, so Bloomington take a 3-0 lead down there in the third place match. Here in front of us, team scores 3-0 in favor of Montini. In this particular match, it's 4-4. About 30 seconds into the second period. Boy, he shoots a nice takedown there when he decides to get in there on that double.
Yep, he gets it again, 6-4. So obviously Montini's kid's pretty comfortable on his feet here as long as he's shooting. He gets another one there on the edge.
And again, that's the call I like. At the edge of the mat, these mats are too small anyways. We need to give him some room and get a nice job keeping his toes in to get the 2. 8-6, minute and 15 left, second
Yorkville
period.
kid's needs to keep his hands free.
Yeah, because he struggles right there.
Every time he goes to clear his hands, Montini kid gets underneath him and scores.
He's just going to cut him again, makes it 10-7 now. And we're inside of a minute. Down on the far mat, they just started the 160-pound match, 0-0. The Antioch boy in on a shot, tries to turn it into a tip or carry position, didn't work, so he tries to bail out.
Montini kid with another takedown, another escape, and gets in back on another takedown for 2 more. So
he's found something that's going to work, so why bother to change? Because he's looked real sharp here in the last
7 takedowns in this period. So
if he can throw in a power half with that right hand, bailed. The leg came out anyway, or the arm came out from being buried.
15 seconds to go in the second period. Montini's up 14-8 now. 160 pounds. Yorkville leads the duel 3-0.
Down on the far mat, the Antioch boys in on a shot. He needs to get his hips moving. They're going to give him a stalemate there. Again, I like those stalemate calls. When there's nothing going to happen, why bother to sit there forever? Referee's done a good job today as far as looking for that call. Same deal here. Look how the Montini boys controlling the hands.
And there's a stalling call and a point awarded to the Montini kid. Stalling call was on the Yorkville. Minute 45 to go. He sucks it in. Toes couldn't keep his toes in, so toes drag out. 15-9, Montini leads. So obviously he's just going to stay on his feet, keep looking for takedowns and build on this lead and hope for bonus points.
Yeah, he's got to take him down a few more times, but it's just been so active as far as
switches off there. Kind of instead of going to the double, he switches off more to a sweep single. Has a leg up in the air. Yorkville kid's doing a little bit better job here defending, and it's going to be called potentially dangerous with that knee in there.
Minute 17 left, 15-9 in favor of Montini. Be good. What's he going to need? Two more takedowns?
No, 6-point lead, so he just needs one more if he can ride him. But if the Yorkville kid, can. There's a stall call, so now
the Yorkville boy,
one more takedown pretty much
just lost his confidence as far as things early on. And there's the takedown. It's going to make it 18.
And again, a match like this is just, really building momentum towards Montini. Yorkville won that first match. They came out in this match, got a takedown and a ride out in the first period. But since then, it's kind of been all Montini, and going into the next match and future matches, his teammates have watched him come out and pretty much dominate. This is going to be his 9th takedown. So, a good way to kind of get some momentum back on their side.
So we actually got a near fall off that shot, 22-10. I don't think he still could get a tech if he hustles, and he's trying for it.
Israel's going to have him try it.
Again, team points can be real important. You never assume that you're going to dominate or do things later on, so get them while you can. 24-11. What do you have to take him down twice more?
Yeah, or
not going to work it. He's going to try and turn him with something here. And now instead he gets himself in trouble.
So he's still going to get the major decision, though. 24-13 right now, so an 11-point lead. And again, he was in some trouble in that first period on the bottom, but in the rest of the match, second, third period, he was able to keep it on his feet for the most part and was pretty dominant.
Down on the far mat, Bloomington leads 2-0 halfway through the second period at 160, and they lead in the duel 3-0.
So Montini's going to take a 4-3 lead in this dual meet here over Yorkville with a 24-13 major decision at 160 pounds. We'll move on to 170 pounds. I believe that's going to be Steve Pozeg from Yorkville at 170 pounds. And we'll check out and see who his opponent's probably going to be Connor Wynell from Montini.
Again, the atmosphere tonight's just really great. If you're a wrestling fan, you got to appreciate the excitement in this place. And hopefully you also understand that it's third match of the day for some of these kids and coaches. Probably getting a little bit fatigued, but the excitement should just carry them through, shouldn't it, for the 6 minutes?
Yeah, and it's if you go to a tournament, you wrestle 3-4 matches in a day usually, so you should be kind of used to it. And it's the last event of the season, so there's nothing to really save your energy for. And most of these guys, if they were cutting weight or anything, probably have gotten their weight pretty high throughout the day. So you should be able to sell out a little bit here, regardless of how you're feeling in the last match.
And like we talked about earlier, some of these kids, it's the last match of their careers. They won't go on and wrestle in college. So this is it for them. So obviously they should be excited and fired up in order to go out in style.
Yeah, we had kind of a penalty point there. Not really sure what it was for, but a penalty point on Montini. Or on Yorkville, it looks like. So Montini received the 1 point, and now Montini gets the takedown to take a 3-0 lead.
Again, trying to slide the leg in. The Yorkville boy's got his arm trapped, trying to keep it out. But boy, that's just a nice tight ride.
Yeah, he's actually kind of riding similar to how all the Yorkville kids have ridden basically throughout the day. They like to get that one single leg in, control your wrist, and really work you hard on top, make you hold their weight.
Again, caution top boy. You get 2 cautions before it hurts you, so he just moved too quick. Nice job of coming to their feet to a
nice
switch.
Little switch. Montini kids doing a good job of kind of pulling them back in, trying to pull them back into that crab ride.
Yorkville's got to score here. He's in.
Yeah, he got his hand in a bad place. His hand's on the inside of that leg, so the Montini kid, it's basically his leg against the Yorkville kid's arm, so obviously the leg's going to be stronger.
Nice little tip. Nope, didn't hold him there long enough. And again, watch the hip strength these kids on top have. Boy, they get those hips in the right spot, and you're not coming out of there. Yorkville kids do it, and we're seeing Montini boy here doing it real well also.
5 seconds to go here, and looks like there's going to be some blood time on Yorkville, so we can transfer over to the 3rd place match between Bloomington and Antioch. They're at 160 pounds. And Bloomington kid just gets a takedown, so it's 5-0 now. Bloomington leads at 160.
Again, riding the heck out of him on top, working a head lever. Turned it into a hammer lock. And they're inside 5 seconds now down there in the 3rd place mat. So Bloomington will take a 6-0 lead in the team part after 2 matches. And we're set and ready to go here. 5 seconds left. First period, 3-0 in favor of Montini in this individual match.
Nice little switch again.
I like that standing switch he hits.
And I don't know. It's going to be a tough call. See what the assistant referee thinks.
Assistant referee, he had a perfect position, looking right at the clock. He said it wasn't there in time. And
yeah, that might have been one of those situations. Give him 5 more seconds. He might have had a reversal and back points, but because it was short time, he didn't even get a point for that.
Montini goes underneath, and the leg comes in right away. Getting a little high here, so he's trying to. Boy, he's got that half just buried. Look at the way he stretches that out.
Again, same type of situation. You got to keep it from being potentially dangerous.
Yeah, you've been under there enough with that shoulder jacked up. It definitely hurts. In fact, now you probably have to have some more surgeries because of all those different times you got there.
I already had a good surgery, so hopefully I'm done with those for right now.
He's getting awful high with the legs still, but he's working and cranking. Again, nice balance from up there because he's in really bad body
keep
position.
That head up. Does a good job there. And again, you got to watch that shoulder. Montini kid's doing a good job of just kind of staying solid, not really flipping around much, not really giving him many options. With the Pozig's really cranking that shoulder on top.
How much does that wear you out on the bottom to have to just lay there and get beat on like this?
And they're gonna hit potentially dangerous. It looks like. Oh no, blood.
Saw blood.
Yeah, so he almost had him turned and cranked him all the way over, and there was blood. So,
and that's the rule.
It's gonna wear your shoulders down. It wears your head down a little bit, and it'll probably get you just a little bit concerned about your breathing because you're underneath them and having to worry a little bit.
So if nothing else, the Montini boy should be a little tired come that 3rd period from trying to stay off his back and things. He's the one that had blood this time. And again, the rule says as soon as you as an official see blood, you're required to break it. Israel does look good in the tie. Notice he took off his suit coat a few minutes ago, but he started with one of those on.
Yeah, it's interesting to see some of these coaches from different staffs who, they'll put on their best clothes for the championship or the finals matches. So, they transfer from the blue jeans and t-shirt look or blue jeans and a sweatshirt look to the more sophisticated style.
Just all depends on your preference. Look over there, watch Coach Paul. He's in his fancy gym shoes and Oak Park orange t-shirt, polo shirt. And I'm sure the Carroll Stream, Glenbard North coaches still have the cowboy boots and things on over there.
Yeah, that's just, again, each coaching staff has their style.
This time the Montini boy caught the leg coming in, and he looks in good position to score. And it's 2 right now, so he'll lead 5-0.
He drops down that ankle. Posig potentially dangerous. Again, that's a tough situation. If Posig from Yorkville was just kind of sat there, the Montini kid could have gotten hit for stalling, but because he kept wrestling, it became a potentially dangerous situation. And it's kind of one of those questionable situations of what you should do as an athlete. Nice little Peterson, kind of like a switch there. He's going to get some big-time points here. Maybe
first. Got to get his butt on the ground. Now
Montini
he's giving up
did
the
a good
backs.
job of coming all the way through, but he's not going to get any back points. Only a 1 count.
Didn't settle his butt on the ground, the boy from Yorkville. Otherwise, like Danny said, he could have been getting 2 plus some bonus or some near fall points. Instead, the Montini guy did a great job of countering it and almost got near fall himself. We'll go to the third period. It's going to be 5-2.
Yeah, over there on the mat 4 for the third place match. Bloomington leads at 170 pounds, 4-0, minute and 30 to go in the second period.
Now, Yorkville boy will get his choice, and again, here's where maybe I differ from most. I got to take top here if I'm him. He's down 5-0, and he's got to turn him to beat him. Though he has been able to come to his feet, hits that nice standing switch, and he's up there again. The boy just cuts him, so he did earn his point. Now I just got to get on top once and see if he can't turn him to win the match. So we'll see how active he becomes. 5-1, 1:45, third period.
Oh, nice little
got
shuck
the leg
by there.
in. He's got him in trouble, but this
Montini kid kept that arm through. Now he's got him in trouble. A really good job by the Montini kid of getting his arm through on the shuck by. So when Posig tried to step over the top, he was able to continue to wrestle and basically had a double leg locked up.
Bloomington leads down in the third place match, 4-0 at 170. They're a little over halfway through the second period.
And it's 7-2 here, minute and 24 to go, third period. Montini's up, and basically, again, the Montini kid just has to play. He doesn't really, not necessarily need to score a lot more points here. He's in on another single leg. He just has to make sure that Posig doesn't put him in any trouble with some of the funky stuff that he can do.
Stand where he hits a switch and then follows with the roll. That's what we call chain wrestling. He does 3 or 4 things eventually. So you're right, just stay off your back and you're in good shape.
And again, even though the Montini kid's in on a shot here, the Yorkville kid's kind of funky and looking to score some points. Montini kid's doing a pretty good job too of just continuing to wrestle, and looks like we're going to have an injury. Someone got poked in the eye. But again, Montini's kid was in on a deep shot, but Posig from Yorkville just kind of kept wrestling and was almost looking for a situation where he could catch him in something and take him to his back. So Montini kid just has to use his head and make sure that he's staying in a good position.
So you think he's in the catch him mode now, where he's in big trouble?
Yeah, well, down 7-2 with
catch him to win. Huh?
About a minute to go in the third period. You kind of have to. You find a way. 45 seconds to go.
Some coaches are big on that when their team's behind or they got a boy behind. They just tell them to catch him and basically go out there and try something and hope it works and get them to their back. So.
35 seconds to go there. He's in kind of on another shot. 7-3 now. He needs to keep his head up.
And a lot of action in the match. Both boys have basically scored off counters.
Be careful here.
Threw it big time, just couldn't step over.
And yep, the Montini kid again did a great job of, put himself in a bad situation, but did a great job of fighting through it and coming out on top, which was pretty much kind of the way this match went. The Yorkville kid kind of put him in some dangerous situations a couple times, but Montini's kid did a great job of fighting through him and ended up on top.
Still looking for bonus in the last 5 seconds, but yeah.
He's going to win 9-3, and they're going to take a 7-3 lead in the duel.
Fun match to watch there. Both boys were flying around. Each time the Yorkville boys seemed to get him in trouble, the Montini boy did a nice job of coming out and not giving up the points. So yeah, Danny said 9-3 in favor of Montini there at 170 pounds. Down in the third place match, 6-0 in favor of Bloomington with 28 seconds left in the third place match. And now we'll go to 182.
I believe in the dual meet earlier today, Yorkville moved their 182 up to 195 and then forfeited 182. I think that this is Bobby Schillinger from Yorkville wrestling Jake Turk from Montini, but again, we're not real positive. I mean, Montini only weighed in one guy at 182, and it was Turk, so you got to assume it. This is him.
We're not worried about the kids. We're just telling you the schools, and you'll be able to see, down on the far mat, nice looking throw by the boy from Bloomington.
Yep, and he's going to run out of time as far as getting a pen, but he's going to get the major decision. So
we used to call that the Elijah back in the old days when he'd hit him with that.
They're going to take a 10-0 lead after 170 pounds. So a nice little start to that dual meet for Bloomington.
By the way, I saw the Elijah there. Reminds me, we got to mention one of wrestling's great people passed away this past year. Walt Gerber used to coach up at Rock Island High School, and he had a boy, Elijah Roberts, who hit that move consistently.
He just let people shoot on him.
And Walt was one of the great coaches, most colorful people around, and unfortunately he passed away this last year. But Rock Island still got a great program. We saw them in the sectional, and they were part of the team sectional, losing a great match to Sycamore Tuesday night.
Yep, so, they kind of had some problems there, I think, as far as success for a while after Walt retired, and then now I think it's the Stockwell brothers kind of have it going back again, so they've done a really good job of kind of rebuilding that program. And
it's always enjoyable to watch their kids, because even dating back many years ago when Walt was there, they did things so hard that it was just fun to watch the athleticism that they had.
Schillinger got a takedown on back points, took a 4-1 lead, and now Turk's in on a shot, and kind of a little scramble ensuing here.
Needs to flatten out, run to his right maybe to score.
Bloomington has
step to his right, and he'll give him the 2. Instead, he's getting in big trouble.
Bloomington has Stefan Rudisell up at 182 pounds over there. He was a state runner-up at 182. So he's already got a 2-0 lead at about a minute and 19 to go in the first period.
Yeah, for those of you that missed the individual state last week, you can go to the IHSA TV website and still watch the matches. They've got all the finals in there and a lot of matches during the course of the day. And just some great wrestling that took place. And Rudisell ran into a buzzsaw and Deckow's just, to me, real enjoyable to watch. And what did Deckow finish second twice, and now came back as a senior and won it?
He was second in the state twice, and then senior year he finally won it. And he was actually second in the state this past year in football too. He's a heck of a running back.
Boy, wasn't he fun to watch in that state final game where he pretty much dominated, and Richmond Burton just couldn't get it done. In fact, their 2-minute drill was to give him the ball as much as possible and let him try and run down the field.
So we're 5-3 here, second period now. Yorkville Schillinger has a lead over Turk from Montini. Turk tries to get to another shot, and Schillinger's got his legs back and looking to push the head down and spin behind.
Speaking of football, Montini's looking for that double. They won a state tournament in football, trying to come back in wrestling and accomplish the same feat. And that's just a sign of a great athletic program for a school that, what do you think, it's probably got 800 kids in it?
Yeah, it's not a huge school, but they're both boys, and they have some girls sports that are very successful. So it's a testament to their administration and to their coaching staff.
I always like administrations that back your sports, because hopefully they understand if you get good athletic programs, it's going to improve the quality of kids in your school. A lot of interest, a lot of excitement.
Turk's got, puts him from feet to back here. Has got him in real big trouble. He was down 5-3.
And going to get a pin.
A nice little move there, kind of just like a hip bump. But as he hip bumped him, he was able to catch him on his back and get the fall. So, so
that's going to make it, 13-3 in favor of Montini.
Yeah, and that would have been a huge match for Yorkville to kind of pull out there with an opportunity up 5-3 in the second period. But Turk from Montini is able to go feet to back and leave him on his back for the pin. And if you're the underdog, quote unquote, you have opportunities where you have leads in matches at first, second, third period. You really got to hold on to those and make sure you finish the job.
You just mentioned how he put his hips on him real hard. Hopefully people understand how important hip strength is as far as doing things. I know when we go through and set up weightlifting programs for wrestlers, first thing we work on is their chin-up type of thing as far as things, and then things to develop hips. You're also a soccer coach. What do you have those kids try and do in order to develop hip strength? Because it's so important for soccer also.
We just do a lot of leg work, and whether it's lifting or just the body weight circuits where you're really just emphasizing explosion in your hips. And it's great for all athletes, really, because all athletes can use some extra explosion in their hips and legs. And Just kind of that constant where you're moving, and then you have to explode, and it's kind of like a wrestling match. You're moving around, and you always have to be ready to explode with your hips.
Yeah, so many coaches or so many kids believe, gee, how much can I bench press? I'm bigger on give me a boy with strong hips and a boy who can do a lot of chin-ups, and in any sport you play, that's going to come into effect.
Yeah.
Think about wrestling. When's the only time you're going to push somebody up? So when you're on your back, so you don't want to get to your back anyway, and if you push them up, you're going to pin yourself. So.
And we have Ferraro here, younger brother, I believe, of Ross Ferraro from last year, from Montini, against Dan Scott, I think, from Yorkville. So Ferraro with a takedown here, 40 seconds to go in the first period, and then a quick, he cuts him up to his feet, so it's 2-1.
Yeah, Ferraro was one of my favorite boys to watch last year. He was an undersized heavyweight. What do you think he weighed, 220, 225?
Probably on a big day.
And he just went after people. So enjoyable to watch him. And assuming this is his younger brother, he is only a sophomore who had a great season for Montini. And down on the far mat, 6-4, second period in favor of Bloomington. Oh, he tried a trash throw, boy. He just tried to get his hips and swing it through.
Yeah, 6-6 now.
Didn't work, and he ends up flat on his belly. But again, like we talked about all day, those Bloomington kids aren't afraid to try that kind of stuff. Sometimes it doesn't work for you, but he bailed out and only gave up the 2. And now they'll go to the third period down there. They're at 182 pounds. We're up to 195 here. And Montini boy will take bottom in the second period. Yorkville boy's looking over. He wants to cut him. Coach said, no, stay on him. See if you can't turn him. So see how it works out for him. Right to his feet.
Right away, Montini get up to his feet. Good mat return, but he's right back up to his feet. That's good wrestling by both guys. As soon as you land, you got to be ready to land and come right back up to your feet.
Boy, I like that stand. Most kids this size don't have that explosive, quick stand. See if he does it again where he's up to his feet right away instead of the slower, powerful stand. See how quick he's up? That's very impressive.
Right back down.
Boy's doing a nice job of mat returning him. Back up again. Now he's got to return him to the mat. Yep, see the referee's general rule there, you got to try and take him to the mat, or you have to take him. You can't try, you have to do it. And he wasn't able to, so he's been warned for stalling. And again, see if he comes up again. He's up, got a mat returning. Got his hips on him real heavy there. There's a boy from Montini.
There's going to be the escape there. Now he's going to look for a quick takedown. Nice little front headlock, try the ankle pick, but unable to get it. So 5-2. Montini leads. Ferraro leads. 1:20 to go here in the second period. Over there on the third place mat, Rudisil from Bloomington has a 7-6 lead. 55 seconds to go in the third period.
Yeah, he's having a heck of a match here. The boy from Antioch's doing a great job with him. And Rudisil didn't wrestle in the semis, and we didn't know if he was hurt or they just sat him out because the duel was over. But he's having a good match. He was second in the state last year. And this boy last week, excuse me. And this boy from Antioch, if it's who we think it might be, is Jake.
I think it's Ebker.
Ebker, yeah, he'd be their 70-pounder. Then they moved up. He was a state qualifier also. And, yeah, he does look a little bit smaller, but he's done a great job with him. 20 seconds left. He's got to get to a shot, though. There it is. He's to it. And stepped out of bounds. Referee standing right there.
50 seconds to go in the second period down here on the championship mat. Ferraro with a foot sweep attempt, unable to get it. He leads 5-2.
Well, I really like how active he is for a sophomore.
Nice
he just goes after people. And
nice finish to his back and looking for the pin too. He's not going to be able to get it though. He couldn't get his arm trapped down there, but
they've got
2 back points.
They've got some pretty athletic big kids. This Ruano, who we'll see eventually, either 220.
Who's also a sophomore.
Heavyweight, yeah, only a sophomore, and he's real active too. So that's got to be enjoyable.
Rudisil with the win down there, 7-6 on the third place mat at 182 pounds. So Bloomington's going to take a 13-0 lead after 4 weight classes.
Oh, half it and take it. Good, he got the takedown and right away step to the half.
5 seconds.
And that was big. That gives him a 9-point lead.
Yep, and going into the third period, let's see if he can continue to build on that lead. Israel's big on just making his kids continue to wrestle and score points. So let's see if Ferraro can keep working and stay out of some trouble positions, but keep scoring points.
He's going to cut him. He feels real comfortable on his feet, so that'll make it 12-4. Again, watch how he's working the head with that right hand, trying to snap it down when the boy comes up, see if he doesn't go on. Ankle
nice
sweep, leg sweep, actually.
To a shot. Yeah, Ferraro's just real active with his hands. He gets his opponent moving a lot through his hand fight.
Three moves in 5 seconds there to try and finish him. That's nice chain wrestling. So we're at 1:35 left, third period here, 12-4 lead in favor of Montini. Again, a lot of hand fighting and moving around, a little bit of a slide by. And tried the leg sweep off of it, wasn't there. Oh, nice blast double.
1:15 to go, 12-4 lead for Ferraro. Montini leads the duel here in the championship match, 13-3.
Oh, beautiful throw down there for third place, but he just stepped.
Bloomington kid steps his hips up.
That's always enjoyable to watch them flop around and throw them.
Nice scramble down there. Antioch leads 2-1, but some fireworks there for about 10 seconds, and nobody came up with any points.
Yep, nice hip action for both boys. Back here, Ferraro's got, there's another shot, and real active again, 12-4, 50 seconds left. See if he tries to hit that leg sweep again. It's been kind of fun to watch him do it.
Antioch kid caught him on his back there out of a little weird position and gets the fall. So Antioch gets on the board in third place, Matt. Going to be 13-6 heading into 220 pounds.
Yeah, they've lost 4 matches and won only 1, but they're right in the duel because they got a pin and the other boys stayed off their back and just gave up 3 decisions and a major. So we're at 30 seconds. The boy from Yorkville's got to try and get something going here. He's got to get a takedown to get this under a major to keep his team in there and give him a chance. Again, same thing, a little bit of hand fight, nice head snap.
Snap down, spin behind. Again, this Ferraro wrestles a lot like his brother, assuming Ross is his brother. And you have to assume so because he looks exactly like him and he wrestles just like him. And very active for a big kid, especially for being young.
Yep, nice deal for them. They've got 2 sophomores at 195 and 220 who are both active and both solid competitors. So they're going to win it there, 14-5. And we're going to move up to 220, and Yorkville has to send somebody first here. And again, the Class A fans are going crazy over there. Big pin for Leroy down on that match, which puts them ahead. That was 285, I think was the weight class.
That's what it says. I would imagine Yorkville would be sending Joe Catula out at 220. It's the only guy they weighed in. And it looks like Montini is sending Dan Sarkhan, who's their usual heavyweight, which means that we might get to see a matchup of Edgar Ruano at heavyweight, who was 4th in the state at 220, against Seth Gonzalez, who was 2nd in the state at heavyweight. So. And
at 285, he's all at 285.
So he's about 265.
265, so he's smaller then, but same deal. Boy's going to go up there and see what he can do as a 220-pounder, so that should be a good one to watch. That's on deck here.
Yep, Sarkhan with a takedown, running that arm bar over. I know, again, it must be nice for Montini to kind of, they're able to kind of maybe wrestle their 2nd-string guy at a weight class, but he's still a top-notch wrestler. So, a guy that can come out and get wins for him. So.
I don't know who their coach is for their bigger kids, but they do a nice job. These kids, I mean, we just saw a 95-pounder. Here's a 220-pounder, and their 220-pounder is going to go up and wrestle heavyweight. And we've talked about some of the other kids they've had in the past few years. None of them are huge, but they just are so active when they're out there. Not on the far mat, it's nothing, 25 seconds left, 220 pounds in the first period.
Looking to turn him again here. Steps over that head. He kind of just has like a wrist ride, kind of.
And he's throwing back
kind of situation, but runs it really hard. And for a big kid, if you run things hard, you're able to put kids on their hip, and that's half the battle.
Yeah, I don't think kids understand. Perfect technique's fine, but you get some just decent technique and do it mean and hard, and it's going to work or be very successful for you. And we're at 30 seconds left, first period, 8-1 as he cuts him.
And again, this is just a testament to their program. This guy, I think he's their normal heavyweight, and he's
snapped onto his back.
Yeah,
that
nice little snake. You know, and he's not one of their better guys, but he really goes out there and wrestles hard and looks to score points, and he's pretty active. And
he's it's
good coaching to get all your kids to kind of buy in.
The state championship, so that has to make his day. 23-3 is the team score here, and we're going to go to 285. And this one that could be enjoyable to watch, as Danny said, different contrast in size here. Individual tournament last weekend. As you know, he was 4th in our sectional the weekend before and battled some good heavyweights up there, just didn't get it done. Gets down the state tournament, caught fire and got to the finals and did a great job in the finals. Lost basically because he didn't get the coin flip there in regulation to get his choice in this final part
tries
overtime.
A shot on him.
Blast double and just was too small.
Gonzalez just kind of pushes him straight over backwards, but Ruano was quick enough to scramble out. So this could be an interesting matchup. Ruano's pretty active for a big guy. He likes to shoot, but shooting against a monster like this could be
tough to shoot on 270 pounds worth of hips. But that's fun. There he goes. He goes in there again. That's what I like out of heavyweights. Kids that aren't afraid to do that. And I mean, I know it's hard, but that's a nice looking shot. Again, the boy from Yorkville, if I'm him, I want to keep my hands on him as much as possible, not let him get to those shots, and keep my hips and chest on him and make him.
Another good shot. Just got that lock. He's just too small for right now. The Yorkville kid just keeps that foot on the mat and switches off to a double and a body lock. So Ruano definitely doesn't have any fears of him.
Fun to watch.
Israel's Martinez just keeps telling him to go after it, so he's encouraging the action.
Maybe he'll wear him out eventually. The boy will get a little tired because most heavyweights, they're not real active as far as things go. Now Gonzalez got him right where he wants him. He's got the underhook buried and able to use his physical size.
And again, it's difficult for heavyweights sometimes because they're not used to actually wrestling. A guy coming out and shooting on them and being willing to be active with them. So it's something new to them, kind of getting them out of their comfort zone a little bit.
A lot of hand fighting going on. We'll see if 35 seconds left in the first period. The boy from Yorkville's gotten a nice tie.
Another shot. 30 seconds to go.
Again, the referees tell him try and stay in the middle, but it's hard if you're the smaller guy. I mean, what do you do if a guy 265 pounds starts pushing on you? You try and circle, but it's hard.
This is where he's got to work. He's got a little front headlock. Put all your weight on him if you're the Yorkville kid.
Should just sprawl a little bit. There he did. Make him carry that 265.
Ruano does a good job. He's a strong kid and he's quick, so he's able to kind of get out of some of the trouble.
So a lot of activity for a no-scoring first period. We'll go to the second period. And again, look for whoever wins the coin flip here to take bottom. Or no coin flip, who gets choice here. Because that could come into play huge when they go, if they go to the ultimate tiebreaker. First point would get their choice if they go that far. Again, here's where Ruano's kind of at a disadvantage because of his lack of size, but nice power stand to get to his base.
He just has to try to keep the Gonzalez's weight off him a little bit. He's able to stay strong right here. Good little tripod.
Yeah, Gonzalez kind of befuddled. He doesn't really know what to do. He's just riding him and not looking to turn. And
good job. Ruano stayed strong and stable in that situation, was able to get his point.
I still hope he doesn't lose confidence in those blast shots he's been taking because it's been enjoyable to watch him try them here. Again, a little bit of hand fighting.
Oh, there it is. Nice little reshot. Gets Gonzalez moving. Gonzalez does a pretty good job, though, when he has to move. He's pretty nimble for a big kid.
Yeah, for a big boy, he moves around real well.
Over on third place mat, Bloomington gets a takedown late in the third period to take a 3-1 victory at 220 pounds, and they should take a 16-6 lead over Antioch, the third place.
It's almost comical to watch the boy from Montini try and snap him down. He almost has to reach up to his head. It's the boy from Yorkville so much taller. Maybe go under in here with some type of duck under to his double if he can. He's still content to work that snap down. We're at 35 seconds left, second period.
He's continuing to force the action, maybe looking for a stall call.
He's not trying to score there. He's just trying to get the stalling warning because he's not committing to that like he was earlier.
Again, Ruano, and he's in great shape for a 220-pounder, but he's got to be kind of getting tired a little bit wrestling somebody that's so much bigger than he is. So perhaps he's wearing down a little bit.
Well, we're 5 seconds left. And again, third period, I assume Gonzalez is going to take the bottom. Quite likely get his point. Will be 1-1. So this has turned into a typical heavyweight match as far as the score, but a lot more activity than what you usually see out of heavyweights.
Yeah, over on the third place mat, Brewer from Bloomington, their heavyweight, one of the most active heavyweights we've seen all day here. He's always kind of up for an exciting match because he's willing to kind of go out and lock up things and throw people and try to score some points. So you might see some fireworks over there if you're watching the third place mat.
Yeah, he had no fears this morning and going out after that triad, boy, and flopping around. What was the final score? 24-11.
There's a lot of points scored for a heavyweight.
Again, Gonzalez gets his one. Now he's starting to be a little more active to wear, like Danny said, maybe wear him down a little bit, brawl on him a little bit, and just make him work with your hips.
Yeah, Brewer got a little throw locked up, it looks like, down there. Gets a takedown looking for the pin. Ruano, another kind of half shot on the edge.
He's not committing to those anymore. Maybe he thinks it's too early, but at some point in time, look for him to make one good hard shot, see if he can win it. And Bloomington with the fall down there, they're taking a commanding lead, 22-6, going back to the lightweights. They'll be to 106 there.
105 to go here, the heavyweight match. Ruano versus Gonzalez. Montini leads the duel 23-3, but the score here at heavyweights 1-1, 55 to go.
There's a blast shot.
Nice little, finally got to the side there, but he didn't get the foot when he got to the angle, so he wasn't able to now score. And now Gonzalez just kind of uses his size. But again, Ruano, he's got a lot of heart. He's still fighting, he's still working in there. He's able to get back to his feet. And great job by him because he was on his butt with 260 pounds on top of him.
And like I said, Gonzalez does some things real nice for a bigger kid. I just don't think he's used to the quickness that this boy has. There's his chance to score.
They're going to
give him the two.
They're going to give it to him.
And now he's going to get a fall out.
Near
15
fall,
seconds. There's the near fall.
Again, he's so much smaller. He's got to hold that weight for 15 seconds. Almost looked like they were going out of bounds. Gonzalez did a pretty good job of staying in, and now he's close to the fall, but I think he's going to run out of time. So he's going to get the 3 near fall. It's going to be 3-1.
Yeah, 2 of the best in the state. One of the best heavyweights.
6-1, sorry.
One of the best 285-pounders against one of the best 220s, and there at the end, size won out. So like Danny said, 6-1's the final score. Will make the team score 23. Montini, 6 for Yorkville. And down on the far mat, boy from Bloomington gets the early takedown, and he leads 2-0.
Tommy Paluski.
Boy, it was so enjoyable to watch him and Moody last week in the state finals. Just an exciting match, and in the end, Paluski came out on top. And again, we talked earlier in the day about freestyle and Greco. Those kids met, I believe, in the national finals out in Fargo in freestyle, and Moody beat him out there, and Moody was also a Greco champion. So just another case like we've been talking about, how these two maybe different type of sports relate to each other as far as Greco and freestyle compared to folk style.
Now we got Brody Sharp here from Yorkville. He's in on a shot right against Montini's kid. He's trying to sit the corner a little bit. And Pawelski with the takedown, so he's going to take a 2-0 lead. And again, this is kind of where Montini starts to get better and better in their lineup, just on the way up here from the 106 on up. They get pretty strong.
Well, they've got an impressive team in general. And, you know, we talked about earlier, where do they fit in the history of the teams and so on. You know, they did beat Oak Park River Forest earlier in a duel, and Oak Park's doing real well down there in the AAA state final. So maybe Montini is right now the best team in the state this year.
Gonna sharpen on another shot here, so he definitely has no fears of the state champion. He's got in actually pretty deep on 2 shots. He just hasn't been able to kind of get in position to finish. Polowski does a really good job here with his hips, kind of continuing to turn the corner, and he's already got that ankle locked in the back, so he just has to get his hips up. Yep, there's the takedown. So he's able to get his hips up as he turns the corner with that ankle locked and score. So he's 4-1, 30 seconds to go in the first. Over on the third place mat, Bloomington has a 5-0 lead at 106 pounds. They're at 116 to go in the second period.
He cuts him 4-2 here on the championship match. 20 seconds left, first period.
And again, the sharp again from Yorkville with another good shot, but Polowski he's too strong. He gets those hips back, gets his hips on top of him, starts moving, and he's way too powerful. So he gets another go behind takedown. 6-2 lead that he'll take into the second period with him. Montini leads 23-6 in the duel.
The boy from Yorkville needs to get a better strategy here. He's tried his best move 3 times, been countered 3 times. He needs to change off maybe to something else because that one's just not there for him. He's just getting muscled up.
Montini's going to pick bottom, start the second period. So, again, most Yorkville kids are pretty tough on top. So let's see maybe if this little guy can hold on tight here on top and maybe lock something up and look for back points.
Leg comes in.
Yeah, but Polowski's he just did a great job there. So when the leg came in, he kind of scrambled his hips away and didn't allow it to lock anything deep up. So again, the Yorkville kid was really probably in his best position, which is on top.
Yep, good call by the referee.
And Polowski did a good job of keep moving and was able to get the reversal. So it's 8-2, and now he's probably going to cut him to go back on his feet. So 8-3.
Yeah, he had the leg trap. Rule says you got to release that. And the referee sat and counted it and then warned him for stalling for not releasing it. Down the third place mat, Bloomington leads 7-0 going into the third period down there. They're at 106 also.
And he's going to pick neutral, and Bloomington has a 22-6 dual meet lead. So both Bloomington and Montini are kind of have commanding leads here.
Nice looking carry down there, tip, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, so Antioch kid gets a takedown. So Bloomington picked neutral and Antioch got a takedown. So it's 7-2 now. Bloomington leads at 106.
So again, in the other matches going on, we'll check out over on the Class A mat. Looks like 24-18. Leroy leads, and they're at 120 there. Down in the AAA mat in the finals, Oak Park leads 20-6, and they're just starting at 106 pounds there. So
the Yorkville kid backing on that shot, so he's bound and determined that shot's going to work. But Polowski's just done a great job there defending it, and his hips are so strong he's able to kind of turn the corner every time, and as he's trying to do here. And he hooks the leg for the takedown. So 10-3, 30 seconds to go in the second period.
Looks like he might have a cradle locked up. He's going hip to hip.
With 15 seconds.
Again, here's where you don't want to make a silly mistake. And he didn't. Brought it over slow and under control. And there will be a 3-point near fall. Leads 13-3, and we'll go to the third period. The boy from Yorkville chose bottom. The boy from Montini just cut him, so it'll be an escape point. He's in on that shot again. And again, he's countered by the Montini boy. Now he might have a cradle locked. He does. Needs to get his head corrected in a good spot. Or maybe just be mean with it.
Yeah, the Yorkville kids in a world of hurt here.
He just got real mean with that and turning.
Again, that's their state champion, Tommy Polowski, at 106 pounds. And in a dual meet, it's nice to have somebody like that who can come out and you're expecting 6 points from him in a dual meet like this. So 29-6 now, Montini has the lead heading into 113 pounds, where they'll send out another state placer in Jordan Laster.
Down in the in the third place, Matt, boy from Bloomington's going to get a 7-4 win, so they're also going to have a solid lead. Should be 25-6 after 106.
Laster, front headlock, turns the corner, looking to maybe lock up another cradle after he hooks the leg, but he just gives up on the head and gets the takedown, so 2-0. Going to cut him to get the escape. These Montini kids love to wrestle on their feet, and we've been talking all day long with Yorkville. They're probably a little bit more comfortable on the mat, so these Montini kids are keeping themselves where they're good and comfortable, and maybe where Yorkville's not as comfortable, and they're able to dominate them so far in a lot of these matches on their feet.
Yeah, and the Yorkville kids have done a nice job riding on top, but difference is they can't turn on. The Montini boys are doing things enough off the bottom where they're not getting turned, and therefore the Yorkville boys can't score any points off of it. They just ride them and shorten the match a little bit. That, and the only bad thing about being good on top is you got to be able to get there, and they haven't been able to do so.
Another takedown for Laster, so it's 4-1 now.
Again, the noise you hear, Leroy just got a pin at 126 in the Class A championship to take a 30-21 lead down there. And again, you got to be here to appreciate this. This side of this place is filled with Leroy fans on one part of it and the Lena fans on the other side, following their programs and their high schools at that level.
And Laster with another takedown, take a 6-2 lead, 25 seconds to go in the first period. Is going to cut him again and look for one more here in this period. Over there on the third place mat, it's 0-0 at 113 pounds, but Bloomington leads the duel 25-6. Laster's got his legs back here, but 5 seconds to go on the edge of the mat. Doesn't look like he's going to get a takedown into the period as they go out of bounds. 2 seconds to go in the first.
Montini will have a choice, and he takes bottom. Like we talked about, I'm not big on doing this. You've dominated on your feet. This boy's best position's the top, and you're giving him a chance to be in his best position. But obviously, the Montini kids have enough confidence in their ability to get away, and looks like we've got some blood over there. So going back to our third place match, Bloomington with the early takedown. He leads 2-0 towards the end of the first period. They also are at 113.
And looks like we might have blood on mat 3 and a contact situation on mat 4. So both matches kind of at a halt for right now, but we're getting back to action on the championship mat. Laster getting set on the bottom. He leads 6-3 going into the second period. Montini leads the duel 29-6.
Again, keeping you updated in the other matches going on. In the AAA state championship, Oak Park River Forest has a 20-6 lead over Carl Sandberg. In the Class A mat, Leroy has a 30-21 lead over Lena Winslow. And here on our mat, 29-6, Montini leads Yorkville. Yorkville boys got that leg in again. See if he can't stretch him out. They tend to like to look power halves. He's working on it, not in there yet.
But again, Montini kid picked bottom here and kind of allowed the Yorkville kid to slow down the match by getting his legs in on top and riding a little bit. Even if it's just for a little bit, you know, the Montini kid was pretty dominant on his feet and was able to kind of go at his pace. Now that the match is slowed down, maybe the Yorkville kid will get a little bit more confidence into him.
Yeah, so Montini needs to get moving here on the whistle. He can't let him, or just brace himself to allow the legs to come in, and that's what he did. He braced himself, still kept the leg off. Now he is on his feet, and now he's going to try and use his athleticism.
On the leg. Gets the reversal, then cuts him, so it's 8-4 with 50 seconds to go here in the second period.
Down on the far map there, 2-1, favor of Bloomington at 1:13, 30 seconds into the second period, 4-1 now.
Nice shot by Laster, way to kind of adjust from a swing single to more to finishing off with both legs. So 37 seconds to go. He's going to let him back up to make the score 10-5 here in the second period.
Again, Yorkville, an up-and-coming program. They're trying to join the elite in the state as far as the AA level. And I think they've done some things with their schedule. I noticed we saw them up to Dvorak this year, so they're bringing their kids up there to get a chance to wrestle some of the top kids in the state and in the Midwest and so on. So that's got to help them for future years.
Yeah, they've done a really good job building that program. The coaching staff kind of understood, I think, that there was a process. They had to go step by step, and I think that this is kind of the culmination of taking those steps. They've gotten themselves into, in the past couple of years, some tougher tournaments. They're getting more and more state place winners and state qualifiers, and this year they're going to come home with a state trophy as a team.
Yeah, that's going to be tough road for them next year. Looking at their individual state qualifiers, they had 6, of which 3 placed, and 5 of the 6 were seniors, including all of their placers. So they're going to have to replace some quality kids next year. Whereas Montini, out of their 13 state qualifiers, what we say, only 3 of them were seniors.
Only 3, yeah. Now Laster's just going on his feet and working takedowns to build his lead. It's 16-8. He's going to give him an escape, so make it 16-9. Minute and 30 to go in the second period. So, he's just been dominant in this match on his feet, and as he is in most of his matches, he's very strong and athletic, and he's able to get to whether it's his shots or off your own shots, he's able to score.
Just so quick and athletic when people move against him. That's the one thing you know as well as I do. You can't practice against that. In your practice room, these kids from Yorkville are all, I'll use the word methodical, do things correct and move around, but they're running into some kids who are just so much faster than they are. It's causing them some big problems.
Yeah, it's a hard thing to adjust to if you've never seen it before. So, coming out, and these kids are quick and they're explosive, and again, the Yorkville kids wrestled their style, and it's very successful for them. And it's just every once in a while, they're when they can't slow down the match, they're going to run into some problems at times. Over on the third place mat, Bloomington kid has I think it's a 9-2 lead. Minute and 15 to go in the third period at 1:13, and he spins this side, locks up a cradle, looking for takedown and back point. So it looks like Bloomington's should be able to get another win over there at 113 pounds, and they already have a pretty commanding lead.
Now, we've seen some cradles that have been run not real pretty, just to me awful sloppy, but because the kids do them so hard that they work for them. And he's sitting on near fall, not going to give it to him until he breaks the hold, and he readjusts and flips him on his back again.
10 seconds to go. I'm looking to whip him over here. 4 seconds. He's going to win 20-9. Montini's going to get 4 more team points, take a 33-6 lead here, head into 120 pounds. Over there on the third place mat, up 14-3. Bloomington is at 113 pounds, so if they win that, they'll take a 29-6 lead. So both of these dual meets, you have Montini and Bloomington kind of running away right now, heading into 120 pounds.
So here we go. We're at 120 here on the championship mat, 33-6 in favor of Montini. Down in the third place mat, boy from Bloomington just got a 14-3 win, and they'll go ahead 29-6. They're also going to be moving up to 120. So we're moving right along. After this one, we'll have 4 more matches, and our team champions will be decided both for first and third place. But right now, it looks pretty clear. Bloomington's going to finish third. Montini's going to finish first. Down in the Class A mat, Leroy leads 30-21. They're at 132, so they have 3 more matches, and looks like Lena's got to start making some things happen, maybe winning all 3 or getting a couple pins here to stay in it. Over on the AAA mat, Oak Park River Forest leads 20-9, and they're at 113 pounds there, so they still have a ways to go. Because this is about where Carl Sandburg was with Glenbard North earlier. They were getting beaten early, or moved up through. All of a sudden they caught a little fire at 26, 32, and 38 in that area in order to win the duel.
Yeah, and they're also sitting with Holler, I believe, at 45. So, OPRF, while they have a pretty 11-point lead, they definitely need at least a couple more wins here, because Sandburg has some of their studs coming up.
Looks like we have some injury time here. We're in the first period, 1 minute and 7 seconds left. Again, got a chance to talk to Coach Heffernan from Illinois today. He's here just observing, and he's real happy with the way their program's going this year. They've had a great dual meet season, and Big Tens are next week. NCAA's 2 weeks after that, and he's hoping for some great things out of the program.
About a minute to go.
Yep, 57 seconds. We're on blood time, I'm sorry, or injury time, excuse me.
Hard to tell, but over there, Bloomington has a 2-0 lead, 43 seconds to go in the first period at 120 pounds, and Bloomington again has a commanding 29-6 lead in the dual meet. A nice little roll through cradle. He locked it up right on the whistle. Rolled right through him. He's got him tight, and there's the pin. So Bloomington gets a fall at 120 pounds, and they're going to take a 35-6 lead now, heading into 126. So I'm not very good at math, but I think that that dual meet is out of reach.
Yeah, that's Bloomington's going to be your third place winner there. And again, because they're from our area, we know a lot about their program and so on. For years, Mark Gardner was the head coach because his family responsibility, son wrestling in the IKWF. He stepped down. Coach Richards, his longtime assistant, stepped in, and he requested that Mark stay along with him and work with him kind of as a co-coach, and it just worked out great for him. Then because, like we mentioned earlier, so many of their former wrestlers stay around and help with the program, they've just had a lot of success for our area the last few years. And to see them come and do this well at the state tournament, just a real credit to the things these guys have accomplished there.
Montini leads 2-0 here at the end of the first period on the championship match at 120. So they're going to take a 2-0 lead into the second period. Yorkville's choice, they're going to pick neutral.
And again, looking around at the other mats, just saw Coach Siebert up there from Carl Sandburg doing some coaching. He runs a great program up at Sandburg, took over from Coach Poles a few years ago and maintained the quality there. And his father and I go back a long way. He was coach at LaSalle, Peru for many years. And again, a real great person for the sport of wrestling. I see him up in the stands now watching his son. He's got to be a proud father.
Both of his sons, his other son's the assistant coach at Sandburg. So he's got 2 sons on the coaching staff there in the championship match.
And they were awful good wrestlers in high school, and didn't at least one of them go to the University of Illinois?
They both wrestled at Illinois. So. Still 2-0, championship match, 1:20 to go, second period. Turk, again, that kind of far side ankle pick. He does a really good job there stepping over the top, and getting off to that double leg for the takedown. So 2 more for a takedown, 4-0. Minute and 5 to go, second period. Over on the third place mat, 8-1. I believe that's Gusserson from Antioch. So 8-1 at 126 pounds on the third place mat. Turk kind of with a crossface, locks up a far side crossface cradle. See if he can keep him in bounce here. He's trying to drive.
Yeah, the Class A fans are all going crazy in an overtime match there. Leroy Boyd tried to throw him, had a perfect position, looked like he was going to win it. Boy from Lena popped his head out and ended up getting the 2. And that closes that one down to 30 for Leroy, 24 for Lena Winslow. And they're, I believe, going to be moving up to 138. So they'll have 2 more matches left. So that could be an exciting finish as they get done.
Gusserson gets the fall over there at third place mat. 126 pounds for Antioch. So now the score is going to be 35-12.
And he's had a great career for Antioch. He's only a junior, and I know he's been a 2-time state qualifier. And I got to figure next year he'll be a threat in order to be a place winner down in Champaign in the individual part. He is the only junior out of their individual state qualifiers. The rest of them were all seniors. So again, they're going to have to reload a little bit next year. So in front of us, we're at 120.
10 seconds to go, second period, 2-1 or 4-1. Sorry, Turk from Montini still with the lead. They're just basically going to wait out. Oh no, Turk gets one more shot. I thought they were going to wait out the period, but instead he changes his levels with 3 seconds to go, gets in the shot, and gets a takedown. So nice job of wrestling by the Montini kid there, and 6-1 lead heading into the third period.
And nice job by the referees there. One of them, the assistant, had perfect watching, or was watching the clock, was able to see and able to help the other guy out and tell him it was 2 based on what he saw. Again, Yorkville boy with the long-range shot.
Montini kid just kind of slides to the side out of the front headlock, lots of the cradle. He's got him buried.
You can't shoot from that far of a distance against some of these
Yorkville
kids.
kid's doing a good job, though, fighting it through.
Long time to carry yourself, though, here.
Yep, there's the fall.
So
6 more points for Montini at 120 pounds. They're going to take a 39-6 lead. 4 more matches to go here, so they're going to 126, they'll send out Sepke.
Yeah, last week in the individual part, he had a good tournament also. He finished 4th at 126.
And he's just a fun kid to watch wrestle because he just kind of goes out there and battles hard, and he's strong and he's tough, and he works really hard while on the mat. So it's nice to watch him wrestle. 4-1 over there. Antioch leads at 132 pounds on the third place mat. Kind of getting high with the legs there. 6 seconds to go in the first period. But again, Bloomington pretty much has that dual meet iced up, the 35-12 lead.
Yep, right now they're just wrestling for a little bit of pride as far as individual pride and doing the best you can for your team, because it's all over. They'll have 2 more matches to go down there. Sepke in on a shot, going to try and tip it. Now it changes off to the single. And needs to pop his head. And
There's
does pop the head for 2. And he's one that's enjoyable to watch. He'll come out, like Danny said, and he'll fire around as fast as possible for as long as possible. Sometimes that hurts him because he gets a little bit tired, but until it happens, he is very enjoyable to watch do things. Working for the hammer lock off of it. See if he can hook the around the world. Look where his left hand is, and boy from Yorkville sees it coming, so he tucks that right elbow in. He's still trying to jam it. Maybe just come with a crossface and drive it.
Oh, he gets himself into some trouble here, though. He's going to have to fight his way out of this one and gives up the reversal. So
35
2 to
seconds.
2.
Again, he's a classic example of what we've been talking about. Sometimes it doesn't look pretty, but because he does it so hard and so quick, he ends up getting himself in position to score points. "14 seconds left, first period." Boy, he had no fears of cutting him and going after another takedown there in the last 15 seconds, because now we're inside 5.
Yep, 6-3 lead headed into the second period, 126 pounds. Montini's choice, they're going to pick on the bottom, so Sepke's going to have to get up to his feet quickly and then go back to work neutral. Over there on the third place mat, we have some blood or injury time, but Antioch has a 6-2 lead in the second period at 132.
Sepke up right away, got Matt returned, and again, learn from what he does. When he got Matt returned, he landed in a position he could score, got his hips out, and going out of bounds prevented him from possibly getting an escape or even a reversal once he got the hips out. See what he does this time on the whistle. Boy, I really like that quick stand these kids from Montini use. 7-3.
Backing on a shot. He's just kind of relentless in his attack. He's constantly going after things. So, quickly looking here on top to lock up a cradle. So he's just nonstop, continuing to look to score, and basically from one move to the next. And he's going to get the pen here. And there's a fall at 126. Sorry, for Montini, and they're going to go up 45-6 now. That
was a Gage Hare cradle there. Boy, got on top right away, jacked that crossface in, and then just said, "I'm pretty mean. I'm going to turn you and put you on your back." And it was real effective for him. So yeah, 45-6. We've got 3 matches to go here down on the farm mat there at 132 pounds. 3.
Yep, and Montini's going to send out Garcia here at 132.
Yeah, he was second in state last week and got a chance. He wrestled in the finals, Zane Richards from Carbondale. And while he never really put Zane in any trouble, he was tough enough to stay in the match and give himself a chance to win at the end. So he did a real nice job. He's only a sophomore, so I'm thinking his better days are ahead of him.
Yep, he gets in on that shot right away on the whistle and scores. And again, he's another one. He's tough on his feet and just kind of stays after you.
Again, keeping you informed on the other classes. Leroy's at 138, got an 11-4 lead, plus they lead in the duel 30-24, so a win here would ice it for him. Down in the AAA mat, they're at 120. Oak Park leads Sandburg 20-12. And Sandburg's leading that particular match in the second period 4-3. So again, we're closing out the evening real quick here. Down in our third place mat, Antioch leads the match 13-4 in the third period at 132, but they trail in the duel 35-12.
And Garcia trying to pull in kind of a cradle there, but unable to do it out of the front headlock. 57 seconds to go, first period. He has a 2-1 lead.
And you hear the big cheer. Leroy's just iced the Class A state championship by winning 13-5. They're actually going to end up 15-5.
We're going to have injury time on the championship mat, on our mat, so injury time for Yorkville.
So quite a run through for Leroy in the Class A thing through this tournament. Beat Wilmington in a tough quarterfinal match earlier, and then come back against a solid Lena Winslow team in the championship.
And Antioch has a big lead over there on the third place mat. Looks like they're gonna lead 15-5 is the final score at 132 pounds. So now the team score is gonna become 35-16. Bloomington's still in command there, and they're down to their last 2 matches.
Now they've cut the blood time on the boy from Yorkville. He'll be down 4-1. With 51 seconds left in the first period.
Yeah, now it's just a little cleanup here. Montini kid on top. It looks like he's gonna optional start, maybe cut him. He's winning 4-1, 50 seconds to go. Nope, he's going to look for a cradle and steps out to the front now.
Oh, not a wise idea there.
No, catches himself on his own back, kind of, but the Yorkville kid now looking to crank him over.
He's been doing so well, and again, that's a wild, wild thing, but it really didn't cost him too much because he was able to fight his way off his back. It could have been very dangerous for him. Those are the kind of thing that makes you as a coach have a heart attack sometimes.
Yeah.
Down on our other mat, nothing, just started the 138-pound match, and again, we started at 152, so only one more match to go down there, and we'd have 2 to go here. Looks like we're going to have some more blood. Down in the AAA mat, Sandberg's definitely making a little push there. They just got another win, and they trail 20-15. And again, they started at 152 also, and they're going to be at 126 now, so they'd have 4 matches left to go.
Antioch kid has a 2-0 lead down there in the third place mat. About 39 seconds to go in the first period as they go out of bounds. But again, Bloomington 35-16. They jumped out to that huge lead early on, and it's insurmountable at this point. Same over here with Montini, up 45-6. They lead 4-3 at 132 pounds. Garcia tries a switch. Now he's up on his feet looking to get away, and he does, gets his escape. About 10 seconds to go in the period. The Yorkville kid tries a headlock there, but they go out of bounds.
5-3, 10 seconds left. Again, takedown at the end gives him a 7-3 lead going into the second period. Yorkville
and again,
have choice.
We talked about that at a couple other weight classes. They're not content just to end the period on their feet. They're constantly looking to score and trying to get more points. So it's kind of a testament to their kids and their coaches and their program. Just beginning the second period, Garcia again in on that shot. He's lanky, so it kind of looks like he's out of position, but really can get a pretty good grip on that leg at times.
Again, shoots him out. Now he's just diving at him there. And
nice little throw by for the takedown on the edge. So it's 9-3 now, minute 30 to go. Over there on the third place mat, Antioch rides out the first period, so they're up 2-0 at 138 pounds. Another takedown for Garcia from Montini. He's up 11-4 now. Second period, minute 20 to go.
Garcia riding heck out of him here. Just a minute to go in the second period. Looking for the cross-face cradle.
He's got it locked up. He lost the arm, but he
go ahead.
Still got the cradle locked up. Let's see what he can do here. Drive him over.
Definitely don't want to suicide this. You want to take him back instead of rolling to your back to finish it.
Oh, he's going to roll through there,
anyways. Without the arm, that makes it awful hard to do, but he got himself at least out of bounds.
Yorkville kid up to his feet and gets the escape. 40 seconds to go, second period, 11-5. Garcia leads. 132 pounds, so we'll have 2 more matches after this. Another nice throw by attempt, but they go out of bounds.
Garcia on a blast shot again. Got the leg wrapped. Try and get his hips moving.
And pops his head to the side there. Let's see. Now he's going to kind of be in trouble here, though. He let the Yorkville kid roll him all the way through and get his hips up.
Only 10 seconds left in the period if he can just hold on. And does a nice job of holding on there with the counter, and we'll go to the third period. He has an 11-5 lead, and he'll have choice. Down our third place mat, Antioch leads it at 138, 4-0. About 30 seconds left in the second period.
And Yorkville kid looking for kind of a cheap tilt there. And he tries it again. Garcia is able to basically just stop his momentum. He's going to spin behind for the reversal. 13-5. We're at 1:35 left in the match.
Again, nice ride, chops the elbow, hips are square. And with 13-5 lead, he's got the major setting there, so doesn't need to do anything too silly.
Nope, just stay smart here in the last minute and maybe lock something tied up, or maybe if he gets back to his feet, just get to another shot. But like you said, just stay solid, and for the most part, these kids are just out here kind of wrestling for themselves right now with the dual meet out of reach.
Down on our third place mat, Antioch leads 4-0 with 1:30 left in the third period. He's in on a shot, but not a real good shot. Boy from Bloomington's in good body position here. Hips are square, got the head down for the other boy, and the kid's trying to drive through it and not being able to do so yet.
A switch right on the whistle by the Yorkville kid, almost spun too far, put himself into trouble. Now Garcia's working that arm bar or wing over here, trying to lock up the wrist on the near side. 30 seconds to go. Garcia's up 13-5.
Bloomington gets on top down there. He trails 4-2 with 50 seconds left. And they warn Antioch for stalling underneath because the head's down and he's just kind of laying there protecting that lead. So Bloomington boy is going to cut him, makes it 5-2 with 40 seconds left.
Oh, and the Yorkville kid with a kind of little shoulder whip there. Didn't even have the neck, but a shoulder whip. But that's not going to be enough. Garcia's going to ride it out for the win. 13-5 at 132 pounds. Gives Montini 4 more points, so they're up 49-6 now. And we'll head into the final 2 weight classes. 49-6, Montini leads Yorkville.
Like Dan said, makes it 35-19 down there with 1 match left. It'll be 145 pounds. here we're moving up to 138, so we have 2 matches left. And we talked about earlier, Yorkville knew coming into this they were going to struggle. And their kids have done a nice job staying in the matches, trying to make it competitive. But just as we talked about, this Montini group's just too solid this particular year. And boy from Yorkville's in on a shot. How many times have we seen them there today, Dan, against Montini? They're in on that shot, but they're so extended.
Yeah, they just get way too extended. You know, they're trying to take those shots, but the Montini kids are able to get their hips back and get the Yorkville kids' arms and legs extended, and then from there you're basically they're basically just trying to hold on, and it's a tough position.
Sandberg on the AAA mats made a huge comeback. They trailed 20-18. They're at 132 pounds, so they have 3 matches left to go.
Yeah, and you know they've pulled off some wins over some of OPRF's better kids down there, and you know, to put themselves now in a position where 3 matches to go, and they're, you know, you got to kind of like Sandberg's chances of as far as having the momentum at this point.
Yeah, it looks like, again, you hate to predict things, but they need to win 2 out of the final 3 in order to win the duel. So we're here again, the Yorkville boys in on a shot, and they get a stalemate call off of it. 36 seconds left, first period. We're at 138 pounds.
Another go behind here for Montini, take a 4-1 lead with 20 seconds to go in the first period at 138 pounds. Over there on the far 3rd place mat, in our last match of the day over there, Antioch has a 2-0 lead with a minute to go in the first period.
And we'll go to the second period. Montini takes the bottom. He leads 4-1. Right away to his feet, gets mat return, and notice how he landed on his base so he can come up again. So many kids land on their belly.
Got that leg in. He does a good job of getting the leg out. He's up on his feet and he's away.
That makes it 5-1 in favor of Montini here at 138 pounds. Down in the far mat, the Antioch boys got a 2-0 lead late in the first period. They're at 145 pounds down there. Again, Yorkville in on a long distance shot, not able to finish it. Hips are down on him real hard.
And constantly getting into that front headlock position are the Montini kids, and so far they've done a heck of a job of being able to score out of it.
Now he's looking for the same thing, shucking it to a cradle, can't get the head in the right spot. So I don't know how they're able to do that. Boy, their head looks awful high to me, but they still are able to finish this in most cases, and he's still spinning to try and finish it. Ref's giving him a lot of time, and he does end up getting the 2. 7-1 now with just under 50 seconds left, second period. Down on our far mat, they go to the second period, 2-1 in favor of Antioch, and they're in their last match of the night down there, with Bloomington having locked up the 3rd place bout.
Nice little roll through there, but they're going to call him for out of bounds, and he rolled out of bounds anyway. But 14 seconds to go, second period, 7-1 lead, Montini at 138 pounds. It's going to go optional start here. tries to go right into a cradle or to that snake position out of the front headlock, which we've seen a lot of the Montini kids do out of that optional start. 5 seconds to go, so we're going to wind down the second period. Again, this is our second to last match in the championship match. We're at our last match in the third place match. 4-1 lead for Antioch, and he's in on the shot right away on the whistle there. Minute and 10 to go in the second period. Trying to scoot over to the hips to take a 6-1 lead. And there it is, there's a takedown, so 6-1 over there, under a minute to go in the second.
A lot of hand fighting here. The boy from Montini protecting a 7-1 lead with just under a minute and 45 seconds left in the third period, and we're at 138. And both of them have a lateral locked up. Neither one wants to commit to it.
Nice little shot there by the Montini kid on the championship mat, a high crotch position. The Yorkville kid did a good job of scooting his hips to the side. Now it's just kind of a scramble. You got to keep wrestling both these guys. So, getting to the edge of the mat. Yorkville's trying to scoot their hip around. They got that leg hook, but they're going to go out of bounds. So, minute and 17 to go, third period, 7-1 lead for Montini at 138.
It's been a great day of wrestling. I mean, we've had just a lot of fun the last 3 weeks. A couple weeks ago at the sectional in Sterling through Illinois Mapman, they broadcast the finals on that, and we saw some great final matches. Last week you got a chance to see through IHSA TV the individual state tournament. They broadcast every match that went on, and then the finals were just very exciting on all three levels. And today, a full day worth of wrestling. If you want to go and watch these things, go to IHSA TV on the website and go through and click on what you want to see. Hopefully enjoyed what we brought to you. One way or another, make some comments to the IHSA. Let us know what we need to improve. Let us know what you like, because we're looking forward to doing this for a lot of years in the future. And we've had some great wrestling here, like we talked about. In AA, Antioch's going to finish fourth, Bloomington third, Yorkville going to finish second. Montini gets their 10th championship in the last 12 years, so they will be our champion. Down in the Class A mat, Leroy comes out to winners, and Lena Winslow's going to be second. And in the AAA, it's still going on down there with Oak Park hanging on to a lead with 3 matches to go, and they're leading one of them 8-2, so that's got to help their chances.
Yep, and winding down, 10 seconds to go here on championship mat, 138 pounds, a 9-1 lead for Montini. Again, looking for back points out of these legs, but not going to get them. So they're going to win 9-1, take 3 more points, and 54 more points. Sorry, I can't count. But 53-6 now, Montini's lead. So they've just been pretty dominant throughout the day and really dominant throughout the season. And I guess you could even continue to say dominant really throughout the last couple seasons, especially at the 2A level. And
passed it on to Israel Martinez the last couple years, and they just keep reloading and reloading. Next year, like we talked about, I think they've got 11 starters back, and that's a nice thing to have when you've got a state championship team already. But we're in the last match of the night here. It's just starting 1:45 down in our third place mat. Antioch's got a 10-2 lead in the last match of the night, but they trail right now 35-19. So we're a couple minutes away from being done. Like I said, hopefully enjoyed everything that we brought to you here in the past couple weeks.
Having a nice takedown there by Yorkville. That's Bass of Yorkville. Took a 2-1 lead and cuts him. So this is the last match of his career as a senior. So as we talked about, some of these guys going out and wrestling their last matches for their school. And again, this is tough for him maybe mentally because it doesn't mean much for the duel, but it's a nice way to kind of send him out as a program. I know the Bass brothers have done a lot for that program throughout the last couple of years. So he's going to be the last guy to wrestle here. And down there, Antioch picks up a major decision, 10-2 at 145 pounds. So Bloomington's going to walk away with third place, 35-19 as a final team score. Antioch's going to be your fourth place finisher here in 2012.
cheering you here as Oak Park just got a takedown at 132 to put them up by 8, which is going to give them 4 points instead of 3, and now they'll have a 24-18 lead with 2 matches to go.
Bass in on another single, but again, kind of like a lot of his teammates, it gets maybe a little bit too extended. They're able to continue to wrestle, though. He comes up through with his head, hooks that leg, and he's 19 seconds to score there.
Again, you notice all the schools, after they're done with their particular round, they sit down with their coaches. And I've been there before as a coach. It's a real sad moment. Look at some of your seniors who've wrestled hard for you for 4 years. You got a chance to watch them grow up and mature and some of the great things, and be able to have to look them in the face for the last time and say, this is it for us. It's real sad for you. It's real sad for the wrestlers. But at the same time, you look at the younger kids and tell them, hey, look what we accomplished this year. Let's keep building on that. Next year, bring the program and continue to develop, and let's keep accomplishing some great things. And you've got a chance to feel that both as a wrestler and as a coach. It was the last match you had to compete in, and then dealing with the seniors that we've had at school in their last matches. And you know as well as I do, it's real tough in both situations.
Yeah, it's even tough, from a soccer standpoint, when you win a state title, it's even tough to send those seniors out then, because it's the last time that you'll ever really deal with them as a team, and you kind of recognize and appreciate all they did for your program. So win or lose, it's really tough just to send them out, because that it's kind of going to be a lot different without them, especially when you have a big group, and especially when they've done so much for your program as has happened in a lot of the cases for these schools here.
And again, while we have a minute, maybe people don't understand, Mike Bear, in charge of Illinois Mapman, who does so many things for our wrestling community. He's also the head soccer coach at Peoria Notre Dame, and Danny's his assistant. Dan, just briefly run through him some of the different things that program's accomplished. For those of you that follow Mapman, you might not even know that about Mike and Danny.
Yeah, a lot of people think Mike's a wrestling guy, but he's really not. He's a soccer nerd that turned into a wrestling fan. But our soccer program is traditionally a pretty powerful program in the state. We're Class 2A, which is the middle class for soccer, and when we took over, they had won a state championship in 2006, and we took over, in 2004, and we took over in the fall of 2007. And our goal was to not just be a power in the state, but to be a power and nationally. And in our second year coaching in 2008, we won the Class 2A state championship. And then we were second in 2009, and then in 2010 we won another state championship, and we actually finished ranked 4th in the entire country by a lot of by a lot of soccer magazines and internet sites. And then this past year we were 3rd in the state. So we've made the state Final Four the last 4 years, and we've done some damage on the national scene as well. So Mike's really continuing to build that program, and we have a good group of kids that for the most part like to work hard, and we train them with a wrestler's mindset where hard work's going to win, and you guys are going to go out there, you're going to be the best in shape, you're going to be the strongest, and you're going to be the toughest, and that's how we're going to win soccer games.
Yeah, and I never was a big soccer fan until the last few years, but watching them compete there at Notre Dame, they do things the old, like Danny said, the wrestler's way. They're going to come out condition you, out hustle you, and out tough you as far as the end goes, and that's one of the reasons they've had success. So yeah, now when you see Mike, you can tell him that I know he's a soccer fanatic and just a wrestling wannabe as far as things go. But we're here with 1 minute and 40 seconds left in the third period. Bass with a 7-1 lead in our final match of the night.
Yep, a minute 30 to go. Bass getting some near fall points here. He really cranks them over there, and again, the outcome of this match doesn't obviously not going to impact the duel a whole lot, but you guys are out here still wrestling, still fighting and competing to get a win, so you got to kind of appreciate that. But
got that half buried again.
Yeah, he's just torquing that. The kid's going to have a sore left shoulder here when he goes home tonight.
Again, he's giving him a chance to run it, but checking for potentially dangerous. Ref's right there, counting near fall now with just a minute to go in the last period. And there's the fall.
There's the fall, so that's going to do it for the dual meet. Montini's going to win 53-12.
Yeah, that's it for us for tonight. Again, like we told you, hopefully enjoyed everything The IHSA TV is brought to you in the last couple weekends. Watch it again, get the replays, see it on their website, and look forward to seeing you again next year when we hopefully broadcast one more time for you. Have a good year. And remember, wrestle as much as possible as you can in the upcoming months. Get involved in that freestyle and Greco. And those that want to, on the wrestling website, Illinois Mat Men, they will have some interviews. And also in that 2 weeks, make sure you watch and see the IKWF, because those are the future of what we'll be seeing down here in the next few years. Thanks a lot, Danny. Good working with you again.
Yep,
and
see ya.
We'll see you later. Yeah, you have to give me a ride home. So.